Well, hello, sinners, and welcome back to day 10 of the 12 days of Sinmas. 3 friggin' videos left. Can you believe it? Neither can I, honestly. And my gift to you for the 10th day of Sinmas is the fan. All right? She's back, okay? You guys have been asking about her for days. You filled up my entire comment section about her. She's fine. She's alive and well. She just took some PTO. Is that so wrong? I swear, I'm convinced that you watch this channel for the fan and not me, which, understandable. And there you go, a nice fan flip just for you. Also, by the way, time is running out for you to grab your limited edition 12 Days of Sinmas merch. They will officially be gone, never to be seen again, on December 24th at 11:59 p.m. PST. So make sure you go to hellosinners.com to grab your Sinmas merch today. That's hellosinners.com. And since we're in the home stretch of Sinmas, there will be a discount on the regular items as well. So make sure to go check that out. Thanks, love you. This has certainly been the most year there ever was. At least in pop culture alone, I feel like there's at least 10 different controversies going on every single week. Even though I was unable to keep up with everything going on this year, I figured I'd make it up to you guys by ranking all of the notable figures and controversies of 2024 in a tier list. Now, I'm barely scratching the surface with the people and events I have on my list, because if I ranked every single thing that happened in 2024, we would be here until the end of 2025. And by then, I would need to make another tier list for what happened in 2025, and the cycle just goes on and on and on and on and on. So that's why I only have like 35 people on this list. So if I missed anyone or anything significant, I'm sorry. Maybe you should make your own fucking tier list. Before we begin, I think it would be appropriate to explain the tiers I have for you today. Up top, we have best of the best. This would be the equivalent of the S tier in a regular tier list, but this isn't just any regular tier list. I'm not like other girls. And then right below that, we have they're up there for sure. While they didn't make it to the best of the best, they are still significant people of 2024 in a positive way. Next is who is this diva? I have a feeling a lot of the people that I have today will be filling up this category. Basically, these will be people who I think are fun and camp, and I really enjoyed their antics this year. You'll see what I mean as we get into it. The 4th tier, the middle tier, is log off for us. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It's like the adult way of saying to go touch grass. Which, like, hey, I know I'm the pot calling the kettle black here, because I can certainly touch a little more grass in my life. Chronically Online recognizes Chronically Online. The 5th tier is Nothing Burger. Basically, this tier is gonna have people or drama that I could not give less of a about. Maybe stuff that I didn't keep up with as much, or just like where I don't understand why it was such a big story or why this person is so famous. And the second to last category is ew, self-explanatory, and the very last category is jail, also self-explanatory. So now that we understand how this tier list is structured, let's get into it. And you know what? Because I'm so nosy and I love to yap, I'm going to link the tier list down below. And if you decide to fill it out, please send me a screenshot of your final results. And let me know if I missed anyone or anything of significance today, which I probably did, because I only have 35 people here, and I know that is just me scratching the surface of 2024. So the first pop culture icon, the first notable figure of 2024 we have here is Luigi Mangione, otherwise known as the guy who killed the United Healthcare CEO. I know he's only recently reached celebrity status, like the story just broke. And the reason why I've decided to include Mario's brother here is because the story has blown up so much over the past week or so, and also just because all of social media has been thirsting the over him. I saw someone say this in a TikTok, and I'm pissed I didn't come up with this joke on my own, but this person said that watching people thirst over Luigi as a lesbian is like being Jewish on Christmas. And I just think that's the funniest thing and so true, because it's like, I want to join you guys. I wish I could participate. As someone who's not attracted to men, I just kind of have to sit on the sidelines and cheer you all on. But now, where would I put him on the tier list? Let me give a huge disclaimer. I don't condone murder. Hot take. Murder bad. Anyone else? But if you think about who was killed in this case, you could argue that this person, the CEO, the former CEO of United Healthcare, indirectly benefited from the suffering of thousands, if not millions of people. I believe he became CEO in 2021, I want to say, and the amount of claim denials skyrocketed from like 9% to 33%. And now United Healthcare has the highest claim denial rate out of all the major healthcare companies, as far as I'm aware of. So with that logic in mind, you could almost argue that Luigi was simply standing up for the people. He's a vigilante. He was doing vigilante justice. I think this is the first time in a very long time I've seen both the right and the left unite on a topic. Unite. To me, that just goes to show that the American healthcare system needs a huge overhaul, because watching these greedy ass insurance companies prevent people from getting life-saving treatment is disgusting. I don't think I know a person who hasn't been screwed over by their insurance company. For now, I'm gonna put him in the jail category. Hold on. Only because that's the most historically accurate. We'll see. But don't worry, I'll go over my list at the very end to see if I misplaced anyone, if I need to bring someone up or bring someone down. He's only going there because it's accurate. And while we're on the topic of murderers, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she absolutely exploded in popularity at the very beginning of 2024. There was a lot of discourse surrounding the fact that people were turning her into an influencer, thrusting her in the spotlight after she spent years in jail, and like, does she really need all this media exposure? Shouldn't she be alone, you know, with her family and friends, healing and working on rebuilding her life? But from what I know of Gypsy Rose's life in the past year, it seems like she loves the attention. It seems like she craves it. She seeks it out because she did the Lifetime show. She overshared a lot on social media. And now I know that her ex-husband's D is fire. Thank you so much, Gypsy. I'm really glad to know that. I'm going to keep that in the back of my little noggin. So I'm going to put Miss Gypsy Rose in the log off for us category. She needs to touch some grass outside of the prison yard. And you know, she's not a perfect human. She may or may not have been involved in the murder of her mother. She definitely has a lot of childhood trauma to work through, and I can sympathize with that. I wish her the best on her healing journey, but get a diary. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up, we have Nikocado Avocado. I know he's like the pet subject, the pet controversy of the commentary community. And I don't mean to sound like a pick-me when I say this, but I genuinely don't understand why his story gets the most attention. I don't find him that fascinating. And people were like gagged when he revealed this was all a social experiment, but like, I didn't move. I was like, okay. Like, genuinely, who cares? I just don't understand why he's been a topic of discussion all these years. Like, is his lore really that fascinating? You know, if we're talking about influencers in that space, I think someone like Amberlynn Reid is a lot more interesting. Shout out to Girl World. Is hitting the fan in Girl World, I'll say. If you would like a deep dive on Miss Amberlynn Reid in 2025, let me know down below. I just don't care for Nikocado. Not like him as a person, I mean the story. I wish him the best in his journey. I won't be there for it. So with that, we're gonna put Nikocado in the nothing burger category, respectfully. I'm just talking about like the drama and the commentary around him, not necessarily him as a person. Next is Dr. Disrespect. If you don't know who Dr. Disrespect is, to be honest, I still don't know. He is one of many internet creators who have been outed as predators this year. In June 2024, he was accused of sending inappropriate messages to a minor. What is it with influencers and minors? Like, there's nothing wrong with making content for a younger audience or marketing to a younger audience necessarily. But at the same time, it's like, why do you want to be in such close proximity to young people if you yourself are an adult? Unfortunately, I think this industry attracts a lot of very messed up people, as we've seen time and time again over the years. People like Dr. Disrespect take advantage of the power dynamic. Don't get me wrong, this happens in every industry. But what makes it worse in this case is the fact that influencers are more accessible than traditional celebrities. So we have the ability to garner an audience, and because we're more in touch with them, because it's easier for them to contact us on social media and vice versa, it's also easier to exploit that parasocial relationship, especially if you have a lot of young people following you. So for all the young people watching me right now, if your favorite content creator is hitting you up out of the blue, run. That is a huge red flag. Adults should not befriend children. Yeah, just be careful who you're talking to. Oh my God, I sound like my mother. Dr. Disrespect, I'm gonna put him in the jail category. I think that's where he belongs. Up next, we have Miss Haley Welch, the hawk of the tour. And in late 2024, she is still spitting on that thing. Jesus. So a few months ago, I made a video about Haley and talked about her rise to fame and like, where is she gonna go from here? I should have seen this from a mile away, but in case if you're unaware of recent news, Haley Welch has her own cryptocurrency. And apparently it's a scam. I mean, most of that is a scam anyway. Like, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And now people are really mad at her because of that, as they should, because she is actively scamming people, allegedly. Haley Welch's crypto team nets 2.5 million euros amid botched token launch. She received $98,000 from just promoting the failed crypto meme coin. So for that, I think I'm gonna put her in the log off for us category. You know, she's had a crazy year, and I think she needs to take a step back. Take a moment to soak everything in, because she's just been going from project to project, and like, it all happened way too fast. And I'm not saying it's an excuse to scam your fans out of a few $1 million, but I fear Haley is flying too close to the sun. Pretty soon she's gonna need to talk to a judge. I'm probably like the 5,000th person who's made that joke recently, so sorry about that. Next up, we have Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield. Besides the Clinton Kane controversy from last summer, the only thing I know about Brooke Schofield is that she's on a podcast with Tana Mojo and that she has a Rolodex of racist tweets from not too long ago, from when she was in her late teens, early 20s, aka when she should have definitely known better. And now she and Tana are platforming one of the most disgustingly racist people on the planet, Jeffree Star. So yeah, it's not looking too good for Miss Brooke and Tana. And Tana, of course, has her history of racism and just overall very problematic behavior. I think a lot of people forget that she filmed a dead body a few years ago. We breezed past that one way too quickly, but there is one thing and only one thing I'll give Tana credit for. In recent years, she has come out and talked about the negligence and alleged abuse she experienced as a child and her going no contact with her biological family and forming her chosen family. And I respect the fact that she was so vulnerable and open with the internet. Like, it takes a lot of bravery to come out about childhood trauma, and it certainly explains why she's behaved the way she has. And I'm glad that she was able to come out on the other side and make a successful career for herself. And I'm sure her story has empowered a lot of people who watch her. And same with the Cody Ko stuff. That took a lot of courage on her end because he was such a beloved figure at the time. So I respect Tana for that, but anytime she takes one step forward, she takes 10 steps backwards. So for that, I'm going to put Brooke and Tana in the log off for us category. I think it would be best because it would give them time to self-reflect and understand how their past actions has affected people over the years. And also, don't platform fucking Jeffree Star and also Trisha Paytas. Like, the fact that Trisha Paytas is in her comeback era right now is really confusing to me, because it's like, did we all forget all the problematic shit she's done in like the past 20 years, 10, 15 years, however long it's fucking been? Like, she's not a great person. Like, why are we platforming these awful people? Anyway, not the point of this video. Next on my list is P. Diddy. I don't think that needs further explanation. After him is the clean girl. One thing I did in the making of this list is ask you guys who you think the most notable figures of 2024 were, and the clean girl came up. It was one of the most liked comments at the time I saw it. In case you don't know who the clean girl is, she is a content creator who goes to cemeteries and films herself cleaning off people's headstones. And she doesn't work for the cemetery. She has no relation to the families of the person who has passed. And it just feels very scummy. Like, you're exploiting people's deaths for content. At the bare minimum, she should get the family's permission, but as far as I know, she hasn't done that. In a similar vein, she also goes to random fast food joints and cleans their toilets for free, even though it's not really for free because she's doing it for content, for clout. And I assume she's making some pretty good money off those videos because they get like millions of views. So I'm also going to throw her in the log off for us category. She is one of many influencers who has become so content brained, so content oriented that she's lost touch with real life. Like, her train of thought seems like, oh, what can I make a video on next? Where should I go clean off headstones next. And it's like, come back down to earth, queen. Next on my list is Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna be honest, I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar that often. From the songs I've heard, I like them. I think he's very talented. I decided to include him because of his beef with Drake from earlier this year. He's released many diss tracks about Drake, including the Notorious song where he's like, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. When Kendrick Lamar said, struck a chord and it's probably A minor, that was iconic. Because if you look into Drake's history with young girls, it's pretty concerning. Drake's relationship with Millie Bobby Brown alone is cause for concern. So for that, I'm not going to put Kendrick in the best of the best because I don't follow him that closely, but I will put him in the they're up there for sure category because that was legendary. Since Kendrick Lamar is on my list, naturally, I had to include Drake, aka Aubrey Graham, aka Jimmy Brooks from Degrassi. I think I'm going to put him in the jail category because there's so many allegations and stories floating around about him that, like, you know how the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's all alleged, of course. I'm not trying to get into a legal battle with Aubrey, but he's certainly one to look out for. Is all I'll say. All right, so this next person is a palate cleanser, and that is Imani Khalif. If you didn't catch my video about the Olympics from this year, basically Imani Khalif is an Algerian boxer who was competing in the Summer Olympics. People were mad at her for competing in women's boxing because allegedly a genetic test from a past competition was leaked, and it said that Imani might not be a biological female. There's been speculation as to whether or not she's intersex or if she was assigned male at birth. I haven't followed up on the story, to be honest, but, you know, regardless of the results of that genetic testing, the transphobia directed at Imani was absolutely disgusting. The amount of hate comments that she received was just so uncalled for over information that wasn't even proven to be true or false. And even if she did turn out to be trans, okay, is it the end of the world? So I'm also going to put her up there with Kendrick in the they're up there for sure category. Because similar to Kendrick, I don't follow her that closely anymore, I'm gonna be honest. You know, with the Olympic video, it was one of those times where I kept up with the story for the video, but I didn't really follow up afterwards. I kind of just moved on. Yeah, she's an icon. So next up is Justin Timberlake. I only know Justin Timberlake for two reasons. One, from NSYNC, of course, and as the guy from Trolls. That's my only true knowledge of him. But I believe he got arrested earlier this year for drunk driving, and this is his infamous mugshot. And when he got arrested, he muttered something along the lines of, "This is gonna ruin the tour." And the cop was like, "What tour?" And he was like, "The world tour." And I just think that's really hilarious. Like, you don't care about the people you put in danger around you. You're just worried about your world tour. For that, he's going in the jail category. And then following him is the cop that didn't recognize him and asked about the tour. And he's going to go into the who is this diva category. Like, ACAB, obviously, but that was really funny. Next on my list is Cynthia Erivo. So I've actually known about Cynthia for a couple years before she blew up. Where I know Cynthia from, besides Wicked, is her role in The Color Purple on Broadway a few years ago. If you look up the slime tutorial of her singing I'm Here, you will be blown away. Like, she is immensely talented, and she was fantastic as Elphaba. That role could have not gone to a better person. Although in my cursed fan casting of Wicked, I would love to see Jojo Siwa as Elphaba and Camila Cabello as Glinda, but that's a different story for a different day. I have a video about Wicked coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to throw Cynthia in the log off for us category because it's like, while she was incredible in Wicked, some of her behavior on social media has been a little weird. Like, if you follow the story about a fan changing the movie poster to resemble the musical poster, you would know. So I think she needs to log off respectfully. And, you know, of course, you can't have Cynthia Erivo without Ariana Grande. This one's a twofer, actually, because I'm including Ariana and Mr. SquarePants here. Here's the thing I forgot to mention about Cynthia. Apparently, she is also a homewrecker, but I'm going to put Ariana and SpongeBob in the ew category because the homewrecking allegations against Ariana are more confirmed than in Cynthia's case, because allegedly the person Cynthia's dating now left their now ex-wife for her, which is pretty f***ed up. But the reason why I'm putting Ariana 2 tiers lower than her is because in her and Ethan's case, there was a child involved. SpongeBob left his wife of like 10 years and his newborn son for Ariana Grande. Ariana and Ethan are equally at fault in this case, if I'm being honest. I can't put them in the jail category because cheating isn't illegal. Their behavior is gross and I hate seeing the media fawn over them. So yeah, there's that. Next is Charlie XCX / Brat Summer. And right away, I'm going to put them in the best of the best category. Charlie's album really shaped my year. I can't tell you how many times I've played and replayed Brat. Charlie has really cemented her spot as a pop girl, as a pop icon, and I'm super proud of her. She's been in the industry so long, and I feel like she hasn't truly blown up until this year. Love you, Charlie. I can't wait to see more music from you. So next up is Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. We got another twofer. Right off the bat, I think Blake and Ryan are the perfect match because they are both the most one-note actors I've ever seen in my life. It's just funny to watch them play themselves in whatever project they're in, no matter what character it is. Ryan shows up as Ryan, Blake shows up as Blake. Like, they take me out of whatever show or movie I'm watching them in. And you know, there was the whole It Ends With Us drama from like September, I believe. I believe the main controversy was the fact that number one, it was based off a Colleen Hoover book, but also because of the fact that Blake misrepresented the movie in a lot of her interviews. She described it as a chick flick or like, you know, something you could watch with your girlfriends as opposed to a story about domestic violence. She took away from the seriousness of the movie. And also, did you know that Blake and Ryan got married on a plantation? What the f was that? If you wanted the farm life aesthetic, there's literally thousands of other venues they could have chosen from. So for that, I'm putting them in the ew category because overall they just kind of give me the ick. Up next is the Costco guys. That's family right there. In all seriousness though, they remind me a lot of my own family based on like their accents and the way they speak, and it feels nostalgic watching them. They seem like a nice family, but in good conscience I cannot put the Costco guys in the top 2 tiers because I disagree with the whole concept of family vlogging, because now it went from just the 2 of them to the entire fucking family. And also, like, the Rizzler, who isn't even related to them, where did he come from? Where did the Rizzler come from? In my opinion, exploiting your child for clout is very weird. It's very gross, especially given the amount of thirst comments his 14-year-old daughter gets on all their TikToks. So, like, I don't know, my feelings are complicated on the Costco guys. The closest category that resembles my feelings about them is the Who Is This Diva category, because they are camp. In a way. I'm not gonna lie, We Bring the Boom is in my head more than I'd like to admit. On a similar note of child endangerment, let's talk about Ava Tyson. Funny story, I don't know how funny it is, but in June of this year, 2024, my friend and I actually ran into Ava Tyson at VidCon. She was like on the way out of the hotel, we were going in, and we had a lovely interaction with her. This was weeks before all the allegations came out. We took a selfie with her and then all the allegations came out about her. And it's like, damn. It's like, can we be normal? Can we find one influencer who's not weird with children? And it was also a bummer to watch people use the controversy as an opportunity to be transphobic and paint all trans women as creeps when that is absolutely not the case. That is a dangerous narrative to be spreading. And I feel like Ava Tyson ruined it for trans women. And even though I had a nice brief interaction with Ava Tyson, I still got to put her in the jail category because there's no reason to talk to minors the way she did. The jail category is filling up pretty quickly. What a year it's been. Next up, we have the Dream Team, my OTP, remember that acronym? Nick Fuentes and Destiny. In the past month or so, there was a rumor going around that Destiny and Nick Fuentes were sleeping together or slept together at one point, because a video leaked of Destiny sucking off another man, and he sent that video to a 19-year-old, but I'm not even gonna get into that. But people were goofing around and claiming that Nick Fuentes was the mystery man in the video, the mystery man attached to the mystery penis that Destiny was sucking. I just think that's really funny, considering how disgustingly homophobic and overall bigoted Nick Fuentes is. I don't know much about Destiny, to be honest, but I don't like Nick Fuentes, so I'm putting them in the ew category. Joining right there with them is J.K. Rowling. I don't think I need to explain that one. She sucks. The J.K. Rowling situation goes to show that you can have all the money, fame, success in the world and still be miserable as and take it out on other people. She is a huge reason why anti-trans rhetoric has spread so far and wide on social media. She's ruined her legacy because she wants to be a hateful asshole. Speaking of hateful, transphobic assholes, here is Josh Sider. Apologies if I mispronounced your name. Josh was a former contestant on The Bachelorette. I don't know what year, to be honest. He's such a clout seeker that for almost a year, he was pretending to be a trans woman online. And he claimed it was all a social experiment, which always happens. A lot of times when someone does something wrong, they're like, oh, that was a social experiment. What was the experiment? To show that you're the worst? Like, what are we experimenting? According to him, though, the entire point of the social experiment was to show how delusional the woke left is. In reality, though, the left was actually very accepting of him coming out. So, if anything, it says a lot about him. Using a marginalized group's struggles to increase your social currency is pretty f***ed up. So he'll be joining Joanne in the ew category. Moral of the story, transphobia is gross. On a lighter note, the next person I have on my list is the sad Oompa Loompa from the Willy Wonka experience. If you don't remember that, this guy advertised a Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow, Scotland, and he overpromised on a lot, and the event turned out to be a scam. It was just essentially a bunch of people standing around a warehouse with all these lame-ass decorations. It was funny, I'm not gonna lie, but I do feel bad for the people who got scammed. I made a video about that earlier this year, so go check it out if you'd like. But my girl was just trying to make the kids smile, and for that, I'm gonna put her in the they're up there for sure category. Shout out to the sad Oompa Loompa. Next is Nara Smith, the face of trad wives of social media. Just like with Nikocado Avocado, I don't feel strongly about her. I feel like YouTubers are starting to sound like broken records whenever she's brought up. I don't know, she gives nothing. The homemade gum was pretty cool, but other than that, her content is just like a nothing burger to me. Respectfully. This next person does not need an introduction. Miss Joelle Joni Siwa. I feel like I don't have to explain my thoughts on her because I talked about her for 2 hours like 6 months ago. Feel free to check out that video. She's something. She marches to the beat of her own drum. I want to put her in the diva category. I truly do, but she continues to embarrass herself. Oh, and also like the child exploitation stuff. That seems to be the common theme among a lot of these people. Like, damn. But I'm going to put her in the log off for us category. Log off, go to therapy. That is my advice to JoJo Siwa. After them is Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This is another twofer. They're also going in the nothing burger category. I don't care. I stopped caring about Jake Paul a while ago, if I even did care about him in the first place. I don't follow boxing, so Mike Tyson isn't a big deal to me, even though I can acknowledge the fact that he was very talented in his prime. Why are the Paul brothers still relevant in 2024? Anyway, this is Barfly777. I found out recently that apparently his name is not pronounced Barfly, it's Barfly. And if you don't know who this guy is, he is a renowned TikTok chef known for his hotel bathroom recipes. I also made a video on him. He's cringe, but he's harmless cringe. So I'm gonna put him in the who is this diva category, because really, who is this diva? Another guy I made a video about is Bucks County Batman. You know, the guy pushing 50 who cosplays as Batman and is also dating a 20-year-old? Yeah, him. Ew just about sums it up. Another two people I made a video on, Matt and Kelly from I Love a Mama's Boy. I'm going to put them in the who is this diva category. Yeah, their relationship grosses me out a little bit, but they are not as bad as any of these people. They aren't a nothing burger to me, and I don't follow them on social media, so I don't know if they need to log off or not. I feel like this is the appropriate category for them. All right, following them is Chapel Roan. I'm very biased. She was my #1 artist on my Spotify Wrapped this year. And in case you want to know, Red Wine Supernova was my #1 song. And Good Luck Babe wasn't too far behind it. Safe to say, I'm a Chapel Roan fan, a Roninator. I don't know what she calls her fans. I'm there though. And I'm so proud of Chapel. She's blown up this year, but I'm also a little pissed that she's as popular as she is now because I know getting tickets to her next tour is gonna be near impossible. Thanks guys. All that being said, Chapel is not a perfect person. There have been times where she could have worded things a little better, times where she shouldn't have said anything at all. But even so, I'm biased. I'm putting her in best of the best. Sorry, like, She's an icon. I'm a lesbian. This placement should not surprise you. So yeah, she's a legend. She's an icon and also a dream collab. Now that would be an interesting video. Probably never gonna happen. But Chapel, if you're watching, if you ever want to look at weird Instagram reels or something, hit me up. I'm ready. I'm sat. We have 5 people / controversies left. I saved the best for last. Right here, we have Cody Ko. He will also be going in the jail category because not only did he sleep with Tana as a minor, but allegedly he has a history of dating girls who are barely legal when he was in his mid-20s. And I'm glad he's deplatformed at the moment, but I'm sure when he comes back to social media, which is inevitable, they always come back, he is still gonna have a very strong core fan base. Yeah, it's just like clockwork at this point. If people still follow Colleen Ballinger and Shane Dawson of all people, Cody Ko will be fine if he comes back, sadly. Though I will not be there. I unsubscribed months ago, and it's a shame that he was like the face of commentary YouTube. Speaking of gross, we have Lunchly with the drippiest cheese you ever did see. I loved watching them gloat about how much healthier their product is than the competition, how there's no preservatives, only for it to be moldy as It does feel like karmic justice. But if we're talking about the product itself, I'm putting that in the who is this diva category. Because it's like when you buy a Lunchly, you really don't know what you're going to get. Like, who is this diva? Is she going to be moldy or not? And then we have the creator of Lunchly, Mr. Beast, or MX Beast if he was non-binary. He is someone who has always fascinated me. Like, I don't like him as a person that much, but I would love to just like sit down and have a conversation. If AI made a YouTuber, that is Mr. Beast. I would love to give more of my thoughts on Jimmy, but I'm currently working on a beast of a video essay, so look out for that in 2025. I would say maybe he could log off for us, but I don't think he physically can. I don't think he has the capability to get offline. I think he is so in tune with whatever anyone is saying about him. He's definitely not best of the best. He's not up there with Charlie and Chapel. Also, is this not the gayest top 2? Oh my God. Just like call me a slur or something. I guess, oh man. Because I don't know, he doesn't gross me out like these people, but like, I guess jail. And Mr. Beast is also like a dumb Gen Z person's version of a smart person. But speaking of a dumb person's version of a smart person, we have basically Mr. Beast's daddy at this point, Elon Musk. As far as I know, he hasn't done anything illegal, but he gives me the biggest ick. The way he conducts himself is just so wrong. He's the king of overcompensating. And again, it's like with Joanne, you can have all the money in the world and still be a miserable fucking person. He definitely belongs in the ew category, for sure. And last, but certainly not least, is Brent Rivera. I know, you're sick of me talking about him, but I can't help it. That's my Brenty. So, yeah. Okay, that's my list. That was fun, reminiscing on 2024. And I realized that this has been a very long year, and I'm afraid that 2025 will feel even longer. Like I said, let me know down below. Don't forget to send me your rankings. But yeah, it was nice to yap and give my thoughts on some of the controversies from this year without having to make entire videos, even though on some I made entire videos on, but whatever. Thank you so much for joining me for the 10th day of Sinmas. If you like this video, make sure to give it a tiny thumbs up and subscribe down below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for the second to last day of Sinmas. Oh my God, that's crazy to say. But yeah, bye.